Kakodash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder. Salutations to all the brothers that are pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. All right, I'm brother Yashawan, back with a World War III daily update. And shalom and salutations to you as well. All right, so we're just going to go into a little bit on what's going on over in Eastern Europe. Okay, Vladimir and the boys from Russia went into Crimea, in 2013, and established a little jumping off spot. And about 2 weeks ago, Volodymyr Zelensky, the actor, the comedian, crossed the red line. Okay? And Vlad said this: if you go into Crimea, you're crossing the red line. So quickly, let's get Matthew 24:6. You shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Okay? Well, we know that the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine, comes with nuclear, mutually assured destruction. All right? So we're getting close. All right, so let's look at some of these wars and rumors of war. Just watch a couple of videos, try to keep it short. But this is first post, August 11th. Attack on Crimea, which is a red line. Has Ukraine crossed the red line? Well, according to Vlad, he has. So few red lines have been crossed.
In the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine, there are certain red lines which Kiev knows it cannot cross. It can play around these lines, but explicitly violating them would bring down upon Ukraine the combined wrath of Russia's military.
You see these missiles? Not to interrupt, but this is what the prophets of old saw. They were given visions, and there wasn't nothing around like this. Maybe a catapult with a fiery rock. And I kind of jest when I say that, but
knows it
say
cannot
that in
cross.
jest. But that right there, see, this is what the vision they were given was this. They called it a fiery flying serpent, glittering swords. This is what they were explaining in the Bible, because they were given these visions, letting you know that the visions that they were given were about the time that we're in right now, the time right before the end. Okay? Now, they speak of these arrows, if you will, that shall begin to be shot into the ends of the world. That would be an ICBM. This is just a short-range little rocket. But an ICBM is an intercontinental ballistic missile that goes from one end of the earth to the other. So all of these things were mentioned, all right, about this time that we're in. So I just thought I'd say that.
Play around these lines, but explicitly violating them would bring down upon Ukraine the combined wrath of Russia's military forces. One such red line is that of Crimea. It is a well understood fact that if Ukraine were to attack the Russian controlled Crimea, Moscow's response would be jaw-breaking. However, it now appears that Ukraine is finally challenging Russia's control over Crimea. A Russian airbase near seaside resorts in the Crimean Peninsula was rocked by a series of blasts on Tuesday. Local witnesses claimed that they heard about 12 distinctive explosions from the Saki airbase near Novofedorivka on the west coast of the peninsula. One person was even killed in the explosions. On its part, Russia's defense ministry said that the explosion had been caused by a detonation of aviation ammunition and that there had been no casualties. An unnamed Russian defense ministry source said that only a violation of fire safety requirements is considered as the main reason for the explosion of several ammunition stores at the Saki airfield. The source added that There are no signs, evidence, or even less facts to indicate a deliberate impact on ammunition stores. So, was Ukraine in any manner involved in the serial blasts that rocked Crimea on Tuesday? A cryptic yet highly suggestive statement surely made it seem like Kiev was somehow involved. The statement said, the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine cannot determine the cause of the fire, but once again draws attention to the fire safety rules and the ban on smoking in uncertified places.
Ah, that's that guy's his quick and witty comedic humor. So anyway, they crossed the red line, yeah. So let's go back. Let's look at see because this is what's going to escalate this thing. Uh, that was first post. So let's watch this one here. Let's see.
Do not buy solar panels.
So lucky, bear with me. So this is August 10th. This goes into, I guess, how they did it. This is Crux. Look at this. Doesn't confirm or deny the attack. See the board games they're playing? Rumors, wars and rumors. Vows to liberate Crimea after how many years? 10. Did Kiev attack Russia's military? What is Kiev? Isn't that the capital of Ukraine? Did Kiev attack Russia's military base in Crimea? You see how serious this is? What I'm showing is the escalation and how we're going to go from short range rockets to ICBMs. Russia's defense minister said that the Saki base on the Black Sea had not been shelled and added that munitions had blown up there. That doesn't make sense. But explosion's primary cause appeared to be a violation of fire safety requirements. Yeah, so they're explaining it away. And the guy is making fun, right, with his comedic timing. All right, so there's that. So Ukraine crossed the red line. That's not fire safety. That's those are rockets. Those are missiles, if you will. Okay, so now let's go to why Kiev is suddenly, why is Kiev suddenly, is the only channels I got? Huh. Apparently. All right, so lucky, let me get this. What is it? What am I looking for? I'm looking for this. Okay, so this is Off-Grid Desert Farming with Paul and Adrian. This is 15 hours ago. It says, urgent alert. Second evaluation of Kiev and Ukraine now ordered, fulfilling whatever this bullshit is. No prophecies but the ones in the Bible. Okay, and yeah, they're going to prophesy right now, but this is not a prophecy. Anyway, but why are they leaving Kiev right now? Is there something to Kiev attacking Crimea and crossing the red line? And now this thing is escalating? Let's listen to this loot, this nut job. But
Hello, everybody.
He does put out some good information, though, until he starts preaching.
This is Paul from Off Grid Desert Farming with Paul and Adrian. This is Monday, August the 22nd,
yesterday,
2022. So we're coming on live tonight. We were not scheduled to do a live chat, but we have some unfortunate news to share with you guys. This is breaking news just coming in. This news is only probably about an hour or so old. We now can confirm, we now have 100% confirmation that Philip Barnett's prophecy about a nuclear war between the United States and Russia is true. President Vladimir Zelensky has just ordered the largest evacuation in Ukrainian history. I repeat, President Vladimir Zelensky has just ordered a nationwide evacuation of eastern Ukraine. This will be the largest evacuation in the history of Ukraine.
Now, to his credit, he did say about a week before that this was going to happen. He actually went into this Philip Barnett prophecy and said, Philip Barnett supposedly said that there would be 2 evacuations of Kiev, I believe. The first one happened when the war started back in February, and now this one. So he did, about a week ago, before this actually went down, he did speak on this. So to his credit. But it ain't no damn prophecy. Okay? So, or whether it is or not, it did come out of the Bible. So you got to watch out for this wily devil, because he'll, this guy, Philip Barnett, might know some shit, right, that they're pushing out. So anyway, right, I'm quite sure he's not a prophet of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. But anyway, all right, so now what happened before this evacuation or whatever is about to happen? What happened over the weekend? Okay. This is Scott Ritter news, and Scott is over there. He's over there. I believe he's in the Ukraine, but in the Russian part of the Ukraine, which is why they're over there fighting. Anyway, this guy is a military analyst for the U.S., knows what he's talking about. But this is 59 minutes ago, okay? And he writes this. Russia's foreign minister, this is what happened over the weekend, or I believe Friday. Sergei Lavrov says that there can be no mercy for those behind a car bombing that killed Daria Dugina, the daughter of ultranationalist intellectual Alexander Dugin, who has claimed to be close to Vladimir Putin. So if you don't know what this is, let's find out. What happened to Daria? Diarrhea, cha-cha-cha. Gotta be in the news. Daughter of Putin ally killed in car explosion. Let's go here. So this is why the escalation. All right. This thing is going back and forth. Let's watch this one. So this is CBS News. It's lucky, bear with me. CBS News, daughter of Putin ally, Russian nationalist killed in car explosion. Skullduggery. Oh no, here we go.
A prominent advisor to Russian President Vladimir Putin had his car blown up by a bomb over the weekend, killing his 29-year-old daughter. 29-year-old TV commentator Daria Dugina was
And she looks like diarrhea, cha-cha-cha.
killed in that explosion, and the incident has left many wondering about a possible link to the war in Ukraine. Charlie D'Agata reports.
Cell phone video said to show the fireball from the car bomb on the outskirts of Moscow. Dead at the scene, Daria Dugina, daughter of influential ultra-nationalist Alexander Dugin, an outspoken supporter for the war in Ukraine. Kyiv quickly denied responsibility, the president's office saying, unlike Russia, we are not a terrorist state. The target is believed to have been Dugin himself, a man often described as Putin's brain.
It does sound as if Mr. Putin is following your blueprint.
He spoke with 60 Minutes' Leslie Stahl in 2017 about his book promoting Russian expansionism, including the annexation of Ukraine.
He a little bit disappoints us because it takes too long.
But he did the first steps.
First step in the 17 years.
The attack has escalated tensions in the run-up to Ukraine's Independence Day on
Escalation.
Wednesday, and 6 months since stunned Ukrainians heard this sound for the first time.
And there go the air raid sirens. It's just another indication that although the city seems normal, nobody's running to the shelters, this city, this country is still in a state of war.
The central square in Kyiv has become a trophy case of Russian tanks and armored vehicles captured or destroyed in combat, now climbing frames for kids and backdrops for selfies. President Zelensky has warned that Russia might be planning something particularly nasty to spoil Independence Day celebrations in revenge. 6 months after trying to capture the capital itself, probably not the Victory Day parade President Putin had hoped for.
So that was Charlie D'Agata reporting. For more on this, we want to bring in CBS News reporter Mary Ilyushina. Thank you so much for joining us, Mary. Let us start with Alexander Dugin. At one point, his nickname was Putin's brain. What exactly are his ties to Vladimir Putin, and how influential was he and is he now?
That is a topic of a lot of debate. Sort of in the West, he's considered, as you said, Putin's brain. Russian analysts really believe this is a little bit overstated, and that he never had direct access to Vladimir Putin. But what he's credited with is sort of putting on paper this intellectual idea of the Russian world that the Kremlin has at the very least adopted for this invasion. That they've sort of looked at this from the point of view of Russia extending and retaking their own historic plans, which is something that Dugin has been writing about and talking about for years. So
that's in Ezekiel 38, when the Most High put hooks in Russia, or the Medes, or what is it, Gog and Magog, the land of Magog. He put hooks in their jaws, meaning I'm going to turn you back to that old Soviet spirit, and you'll move forth like that with all your allies and armies.
He's definitely, in the sort of traditional conservative circles in Russia, is considered quite influential through these writings that he's been working on for years.
So you mentioned that Russian analysts may sort of downplay his influence on Vladimir Putin compared to the amount of, I guess, focus that he gets in the West. Then I'm wondering just how Russians are reacting to the news of this bombing.
Well, that is, actually interesting because a lot of high-profile Russian, officials and Russian sort of state TV propagandists have been really shocked by and rattled by this sort of attack on his daughter, and potentially, the aim was him, and they've taken this as a sort of signal that they should. Consider their own security. For example, the chief of Russian RT channel that is, very well known for its anti-Western stance is said that she's, has security now. She goes everywhere with security, and that, definitely rattled a lot of people in Moscow.
In the meantime, Ukraine is getting ready to mark its Independence Day. It's on the 24th, but Ukraine's president has warned people not to gather. In fact, implemented a curfew in several cities. What are officials afraid of?
Well, they're afraid of retaliatory attacks, and also this is a very symbolic day because it is Independence Day in Ukraine. This is something Russia essentially denies Ukraine, denies it as an independent state through this invasion. So, of course, they're expecting sort of a heightened level of attacks, and the Dugin situation is also now a cause of concern for them because just now Russian security service officially came out and said that they blame Ukraine for this attack on the daughter of this philosopher. So that this is potentially going to escalate. On the daughter of this philosopher, so that this is potentially going to escalate this even more because we've already heard a lot of calls in Moscow from sort of the hawkish and more conservative groups to calling on Vladimir Putin to attack government buildings in Kiev. And as we know, some of the government workers in Kiev have been told to stay home and not come to work in this day around the Independence Day to avoid potential casualties.
Oh, Mary, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mary. Not only that, they've been told to evacuate. This is 15 hours ago, so this is the latest news. Okay? Come on, Paul, you crazy coot.
So what does that mean? If you guys are new to our channel, you need to watch the last two videos, the live chats that I posted. We covered this in our last two videos that a gentleman by the name of Pastor Philip Barnett,
not that,
in 2007, God gave him a detailed vision.
No, he didn't.
Of the end times. He gave him a detailed vision of what would happen.
I think that was the New World Order that gave him a detailed vision, and he passed it on to you, and you believe this devil.
In the world, and there would be a war that started in Ukraine, that Russia would invade Ukraine, and that the United States would launch a surprise nuclear attack on the entire Russian army in northern Ukraine and destroy their army.
And what does that bring about? Okay? Enough, Paul. Let's get some precepts and we'll go ahead and go. Let's get Joel. We have Joel up? No, okay. Let's get the missiles here. All right. See what the Bible says, not some guy that works for the Illuminati. All right. Alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land is nigh at hand. Okay. Yeah. People like neither should, but try to be spiritual. A fire devoureth before them. What? What is this talking about? A great people. Where is it? A great people. A fire devoureth before this great people, and behind them a flame burneth. It's talking about the missiles. Okay? In particular, this is talking about ICBMs. The land is as the Garden of Eden paradise before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. Talking about nuclear missiles. That great people is going to liken them into an army or soldiers. Okay? The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, going into horsepower. And as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on top of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array, an army. Okay, there it is, likening these missiles again to what? People. Okay, a great people. This is talking about those missiles. Okay, before their face, Salah, before their face the people shall be much pained, all faces shall gather blackness, they shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the walls like men of war, army. They shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. So how about them missiles? Neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk every one on his path, and when they shall fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. So there is no anti-ballistic missile system that's going to work at that time, right? We all know that the so-called UFOs hover over the nuclear missile silos and shut them all the way down. Don't they do that? They shall run to and fro in the city. What shall? Those missiles. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. This is talking about those missiles. Let's go to 2nd Ezra's, I think it's 16. Let's make sure real quick. Slot, bear with me. Real quick check, I should know this. To be shocked. $16 and $13. Bear with me, Slovakia. Let's talk about those missiles. Started 11. 2nd Ezra 16 and 11. The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence. All right? That nuclear blast is going to turn you into powder. The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also, the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, silos. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. What arrow do you know can be shot into the ends of the world? Let's talk about ICBMs. Behold, the plagues, see that word plagues, are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out, till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Okay? What plagues? These plagues. You tell me what can cause this, Sarah Connor. Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. What can cause that? For your flesh to melt instantly while you're still standing up. You tell me what this is talking, what plague this is. All right? That's where this thing is going. All right, let's get it at the end right here. It's Revelation 11. The great earthquake. What's going to cause the great earthquake? Those ICBMs. Revelation 11 and 13. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. That's talking about America, all 10 FEMA regions, FEMA zones. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. Everyone that didn't ascend up to heaven in a cloud, right? 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the power of heaven. That is mutually assured destruction taking place. 10th part of the city is talking about Babylon the Great, which is also known as America. This is talking about World War III. First World War II, and then III. The second woe, World War II, is past. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Letting you know we're on a collision course with mutually assured destruction. All right? Urgent. Not that guy. This action right here. Right? You see this? You think Vlad ain't mad right now? Vlad is mad. Okay? Independence Day. Hey, we could see some fireworks. All right? So with that, we hope that the elect were edified. You brothers and few sisters, with that, we can say shalom.